Hey there, this is Steven from Utopian Labs, and today I wanted to make this video and in this video show you how to basically build one of the most versatile Zaps there is. This is like a Zap that we're going to build today that you can use in any way that you want to use it, which is basically a Zap that is triggered by a webhook. For those of you who don't know what a webhook is basically a software notification, so to say. So that's an API call that is sent to this Zap to trigger it and basically say like, hey, I have some information for you. You go ahead and do with it whatever you want. And this Zap can originate, this webhook can originate from everywhere. So you can use this, for example, to send people to Zapier that requested some more information on your website, or maybe requested a demo, or signed up to your platform, or joined your newsletter, or visited your website, or visited your LinkedIn profile, or like basically most of the software platforms together communicate through webhooks, and every single use case that we just mentioned, and probably many, many more, can be triggered by this Zap that we're going to be building today. So to show you here, I only built a trigger so far, webhooks by Zapier and catch a hook. And I just sent one. So as you can see here, this request was sent with my full name and the company domain, as you can see right here. And then you can add more information to it, of course, but you can click continue with selected records, and now you can determine what you want to do with it. So let's say someone requested some more information about a company, and I want to make sure, like, hey, is this person actually worth my time? Because I have limited time available, of course, and I want to spend that time on companies that can become the best possible customers or have the highest probability, of course, to become a high-paying customer. And what you can do then is you can use Utopian Labs, the qualification agent. So this is qualify a lead, as you can see right here. And then we can fill this in. So for those of you not familiar with Zapier, you shouldn't type stuff in manually here. You can basically use this slash to use outputs of previous steps in the Zap in this one. So here we have the company domain, as you can see right here, and we have the lead full name. Let me just put in this one. And the cool thing, what's happening here is you're basically working with variables. And these variables means that if I send another webhook to Zapier where the company domain and the full name is different, like the contents are different, but the key, as we say here, the company domain and the full name itself is the same, then it would actually mean, it would actually map these values to this app every single time. So you can basically use this and as a process, as a continuous process, and go on. So as you can see here, I've only added two things here. It's always the rule, the more you add here, the better, but I just wanted to give you a simple example. So you can also add, for example, maximum number of research steps, or add some context, like, hey, this was someone who requested more information on our website. I want to make sure they're worth our time before we schedule a call. For example, this is just the random, and then use memory. For those of you who are not familiar with use memory, I would just recommend always setting it to true. It's actually defaulted to true. So if you don't touch it, then it will automatically be true. Memory means that if you basically use multiple agents on the same lead, then let's say, for example, you qualify a lead right now and write an email afterwards, then you can just basically reuse the research that is done here. So this continue, then we're going to test this step, and then you get some more outputs, as you can see right here, that we can use in another step. And maybe just keep it simple right now. Let's use Slack. And then we're going to send a direct message to me. And then the message text is going to be, let's say, lead website. And then we're going to map this one. And then lead name is me. And then lead qualification score is the qualification score. So this then is a message that will be sent. You can send it as a bot, and you can basically modify this however you want. And then as you click continue, I'm just going to skip this test right now because otherwise I'm going to get a DM where I already know that I'm highly qualified. And then you can basically publish it. So this is a super simple iteration, a super simple zap that you can use to trigger by a webhook. But you can also expand it. Let's say you don't want to send a direct message, but you want to, let's just delete this one. If the lead is qualified, so if we're going to add a filter in this case, because we only want to continue if the qualification score is high. So we say only continue if this qualification score is high, and that of like the qualification score, and then we say exactly matches high. You can also make this medium or low, of course, but then you say then you see this your Zap would have continued for this test data, which is expected because the qualification score actually set high. If I were to say medium right here, and then can test it, then your Zap would not have continued for this test data, but we're going to put it to high. And then let's say if we have a lead that is qualified, then we're going to use another agent to write an email because they requested more information or they requested a demo or something like that. I want to do it in American English, sure. Then the lead company website is this one, and then the lead full name is this one. And the cool thing is because we're using memory. So here you can see that if true, the agent will use previous research runs where applicable, defaults to true. So it's like always true unless you say explicitly say false. I'm just going to put it to true here. So the cool thing is because we use memory here, that the research that was done with qualify a lead here will be reused to write an email to make sure that you do not do any duplicate research steps, because that would of course be a waste of money and a waste of time. And then we can say here, this lead requested more information on the website. They were qualified to be an ICP, so I'd love to meet with them at my Calendly link, and then like for example a Calendly link, and then you can click continue here, test the step, and then this is the output that you would receive. So you would have like a research conclusion based on all of the research that's done, a subject line for the email, markdown of the email, and HTML of the email. And then you can, for example, connect your Gmail account, and then you can say, you know what, I want to create a draft. Wait, let me connect my Gmail account real quick. There we go, connected my Gmail account. And then I want to create a draft here. And then I want to send it to, okay, yeah, we don't have the email already. So let's say we would have had the email, we would have had the email here instead of the company domain, then we would have just used it here. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to tell you. And then you use the subject from here. So the subject is this one. And then you use the body, which is going to be type, well, HTML or plain. You can basically choose any of the two. Plain, if you choose plain, you can use the markdown here, markdown of the email. If you use HTML, you can use the HTML of the email. And then you can basically do it like this. You can test it if you want to, and you can create a draft. And then basically anytime someone is, so basically what this Zap does, anytime someone leaves their details on your website, they are qualified to be high, like a high qualification score. And an email is written and it will be in your Gmail, and you can just read through it and maybe change some stuff, hit send, and then you're done, saving you an awful lot of time. What if, just to add one more example, just to give you an idea of how this would work. Yeah, this still works. And then let's say we use Pipedrive as a CRM system right here. And then we want to, let's say, create a deal because this person wanted more information. Need to connect our Pipedrive. So connected our Pipedrive account. Then we can say, for example, we want to have this name, new deal, and then we want to add it to a certain stage or a certain pipeline. We want to add an organization. We want to do all kinds of stuff, basically. And then you can create a deal in Pipedrive because they have requested more information. They're highly qualified. And so I want to have a deal in my CRM system. And as you can imagine, there are like hundreds, if not thousands, of other ways to build this app. These are just a couple of examples that I wanted to show you to use the different Utopian Labs agents in a workflow and basically show you what it works, how it works, all based on a webhooks by Zapier trigger. So yeah, very curious to see what you all are going to be building with this. And if you have any questions, then of course you know where to find us. Thanks.